Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to episode 38 of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to pick two random SoulsBorne bosses, and in the easiest determination of who would be the winner as possible, we're going to have a raffle, and whoever wins the raffle will be the winner. I got to credit Courtney with that one. Thank you, Courtney. I know you're not... the PA is not hooked up right now. You can't communicate with me, but I appreciate the idea as far as determining the winner for this one. All right. In one corner, we have the Gaping Dragon. I believe that is Dark Souls 1, right? I believe so. And I think that's the third competitor in a row we've picked from Dark Souls 1. Because I think we just picked the Four Kings and the Capra Demon in the last episode. Gaping Dragon's a fun one. I definitely spent some time on it. Ooh. Yeah, spent quite a fair amount of time on it. Gaping Dragon's tough. Gaping Dragon is tough. Yeah, whoever fights the Gaping Dragon is not going to have a fun time, that's for sure. That is most certainly for sure. Alright. We are going to take this wheel for another spin. We are going to see who is going to go up against the Gaping Dragon in this raffle. This very intimidating, challenging raffle that we have before us. It's going to be a very grueling raffle. We may have to put restrictions and time limits and all this shit, regulations on it. It's going to be very, very hardcore. Very hardcore raffle. Alright, in one corner we have the Gaping Dragon, and in the other corner we have the Deathrite Bird from Elden Ring. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one. I think this is a type of fight you wouldn't really think about when you're comparing SoulsBorne bosses. Just not the type of fight that would really register, so. Yeah, this one's a little bit different. Alright. I think I'm going to have fun analyzing this one a little bit. And so now we go to the contractually obligated bios, and let's have a look at the Gaping Dragon. The Gaping Dragon is a direct descendant of the primordial archdragons and is one of the few survivors of the war against the great bearers of the Dark Souls, or bearers of the Lord Souls, as it were. When it was all alone in the world and was just trying to survive in any way it possibly could, it found itself in the Undead Burg, way in the depths of Blighttown. And people would not say that Blighttown is home to the loveliest of people, but even the inhabitants of Blighttown feared the Gaping Dragon for its astounding pestilence. Over time, the Gaping Dragon was corrupted by the darkness and transformed into a deformed abomination, as per Dark Souls. Its ribcage turned into a gigantic maw oozing with acid, which... The inhabitants of the depths had built a door that keep themselves safely separated from the plague of Blighttown, and the Gaping Dragon ate the key to that door. So everyone was on the same page, so that's good. Gaping Dragon tried and apparently failed to break down that door to reemerge, so you know, there's that too. Over time, the Gaping Dragon was apparently able to develop an additional pair of legs to support its large stomach, which I wish I could do the same. That if I got too fat, I could just develop another pair of legs and be able to move around the same way. Why can't I do that, God? Even though it's too large to fly, the 4 wings that it does have does assist it in kind of floating kind of jumps. As I said earlier, its gigantic vertical maw oozes acid and can deliver crushing bites, and its head kind of regressed into its body, and it basically into a proboscis that can detect potential prey or whatever. So yeah, the gaping dragon is most certainly not a looker. You can kind of imagine it being shunned by the Society of Dragons for being extra ugly. I say extra ugly. I think dragons are beautiful, but not this one. This one is most certainly not beautiful, and will not win any beauty contests, that's for sure. Not a ton of lore surrounding the Deathrite birds in Elden Ring. They're kind of secondary bosses, and there's several of them. But they are gigantic decaying birds that apparently have encrusted corpses in their body, which I had not noticed, and now we'll have to take a closer look. They are partially covered in ghost flame and guarded by the spirits of the servants of death inside their wings. They were called graveyard firekeepers. Firekeepers? Is there some kind of connection between Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 after all? And their purpose was to tend the ghost flame by raking the ashen remains of the death of their kiln, whatever that means. They used to be much more active before the Erdtree existed, and now they're seen as malevolent entities by some. Priests of old were permitted to come among the death birds and act as their guardians, and that would be, the exchange would be they'd be resurrected in the distant future. So that was their reward, I guess. And I guess some priests can be seen inside their wings wielding death ritual spears. Again, I'm gonna have to check that out. That actually kind of sounds cool. I'm very familiar with the Deathrite birds because I created a character in Elden Ring by the name of Freya, Norse goddess of death. So I wanted her to be proficient in the ghost flame, so I went around and collected all the ghost flame spells and weapons and such, and I did enjoy her as a character. And fun side note, when the DLC Shadow of the Erdtree came out, she was the only one of the characters that I had that was close enough to get into the DLC without having to do anything extra. So I went through the DLC playing as her, and even though I loved her, she was not my strongest character. So I think it made the DLC all the more challenging. But yeah, just a fun little side note. But yeah, the Deathrite birds are no joke, and they have powerful spells and are fast and powerful and a pain in the ass. And there's several of them in the world, and you have to beat them in order to get those spells. There's no other way to get them. So yeah, they're certainly an interesting addition to the SoulsBorne universe. This is certainly an interesting fight, and even as I sit here recording this, I'm imagining the fight in my head, and I'm trying to see which way it's going, you know. Even though I think this is a mid-card fight at best, the Gaping Dragon against the Deathrite Bird. They're tough enemies, but certainly not a main event anywhere in the world or anything like that. I think I might have to give the edge to the Deathrite Bird, to be honest with you. I think it's too strong, it's too mobile. I think Gaping Dragon only has so many tools in its arsenal. I don't think it has what it takes to keep up with the Deathrite Bird. I don't come to that decision easily, but that's just how I feel. I don't think it can. I don't think it can do it. I really don't think it can. I think the Deathrite Bird, and the Deathrite Bird has the ability to keep its distance and attack from afar too. So, at which point I think the Gaping Dragon is just fucked. So. Yeah, I think Deathrite Bird takes this one, but that's just my opinion. Feel feel free to leave yours in the comments. And that will bring this episode of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death to a close. Leave a like, subscribe, notifications, and all that junk. You can go to robertblanchardbooks.com and check out my books if you're interested. Easy for me to say. You can listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast if you'd like to hear more about them. My Linktree, my Instagram, and my Twitter are all Bobby's World 2110. The Sekiro No Healing Gourd run is still ongoing. I am recording this before I have recorded the next episodes of Sekiro, so hopefully by now I have fought my way through Fountainhead Palace and I'm on to the next stage of what's going on there. But I'm sure I'm having a barrel of laughs along the way, so stay tuned for that. Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can come back here Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another edition of the new and improved SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. I think the next episodes that I record from here on out are going to be even more new and improved because I made more changes. I added more things, not new bosses, but new things into the little randomizer to make things more interesting. So maybe we'll land on some of those and we'll see what happens, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that. So yeah, come back here next week and we'll see if that tends to be the case, or we'll see if we get some more badass fights that I can analyze and we can agree or disagree on. Who knows? But until next time, be well, stay safe, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it. See you for live, y'all. Bye! What's going on, guys? Thank you for checking out the video today, but I got a question for you. Did you know I wrote a book? Did you know I wrote 3 books? Did you know that they're all part of the same series? The Roar of a Dragon, The Treachery of a Weasel, and The Cry of a Raven. ReadersFavorite.com says that its intensity rivals that of the Game of Thrones series. Now, I personally think that's crazy, but it's not for me to judge. It's for you to judge. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com and you can check out the books right now. But wait, that's not all. All 3 books got 5-star reviews in ReadersFavorite.com. These books won the Silver Medal in the Literary Titan Awards. The Cry of a Raven won Silver at the Global eBook Awards. So what are you waiting for? Read about Aiden's dream to become a Knight of Delmar. Read about his death and resurrection. Oops, I gave that away, didn't I? And read about his journey back home from 3,000 years in the future to stop the evil that started in Delmar. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. And then, if you're interested, you can buy the books there as well. And if you've already read the books or you just want to hear more about them, you can check out the Rise of Dragons podcast. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And in every episode, I cover a character from the book, an event from the book, my journey into writing, and everything in between. Ripley, what do you got to say about all this?
Give me a treat or I will end you.
You know she's telling you to check out the books. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com to check out the books, or listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast if you want to hear about them. That's all I got to say, and thank you for watching this video.